Well, hello and welcome to all of our viewers from around the world. I'm Fiona Langsharp, IBCLC Directory Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. Well, welcome back to all of you who've been tuning in recently. You know that we've been talking about our upcoming GOLD Lactation Online Conference. And today we're going to be diving into another element. Okay, let me just say it clearly, an element that is part of our programming now. And if you haven't seen the different elements that we have, stay tuned. There's lots of really exciting things that we do here at our GOLD Lactation Conference to enhance your learning. So without any further ado, however, I do want to introduce my friend and colleague, Johanna Sargeant. Welcome back, Johanna. It's so good to have you here at GOLD.
Hi, Fiona. Super great to be here as always and to chat to you today. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Johanna, you're going to see Johanna quite a bit during this event. We've got her doing quite a bit of production for us this year, and we're excited to see you're going to be part of a panel discussion as well, and also as part of our networking sessions. And these are all the different elements. I feel like you just lean into all of these different ways to learn, Johanna, and you just love them. I mean, you really stepped up and said, no, I really want to be a part of it this year. How can I do that, right? So this is something that you enjoy, is just these different types of elements.
Absolutely. And I think my background before this, I worked in teaching. I was a high school teacher, and I mean, the thing that I loved the most, and one of the things I love the most in this work now, is being able to explain something and then trying to find 5 different ways of explaining the same concept so that every single person really gets a good grasp of what's going on. And I think that that's where all of these different kinds of presentations that you've got at the moment, I think that that's brilliant for that, where we can actually look at the different ways that people learn better. So I'm really happy to do them all.
That's
not
exciting.
All, but many.
All of them. Yeah, we'll talk about a few of those things. I do want to give a little shout out to our education planning team, because this is where it all comes from, and we have a professional advisory committee as well. And so we have many people that are sitting at the table planning these events and talking about the different ways that we can learn. And of course, being online, some people might see it as just being, one way, linear, and it's not. It's multifaceted. And that's why people come back to the conference year after year. They get excited about the different ways that they can learn. The live events, where they can be live and interact. The recorded events where they can listen at their own convenience. So there's just many layers. But let me talk a little bit about the networking session quickly here with you, because you're going to be part of our networking session this year. This is where all of you who are listening in today can actually come live and contribute. So know that we have those on the dashboard right now. So if you're registered for the event already, you will see them. Look for networking. And we also have 2 panels this year. So we have increased the amount of panels based on your feedback, and Johanna is going to be participating in one of those. So you can stay tuned and listen into more of those conversations. But let's dive into the one that we're going to be talking about today, and that is an interactive session. And what that means, I mean, a lot of our sessions are truly, we're getting more and more elements all the time for folks. People are loving, using video, polls, and those types of things. But this type of interactive session is just a little level up, I would call it. And it has some key things that you can engage with even prior to the event, right, Johanna? So we have some pre-questions that have been organized by you and our team, so folks can come in and really start thinking about the topic. So tell me, when you're planning this and you're thinking about this, how do you lean into the topic and think, okay, what can I give to the folks before the session?
Well, I think that it's the kind of thing that I'm talking about is something that a lot of us will be relating to, and potentially what I'm wanting to do is to actually get you to question some of the very ordinary things that happen in a consult that maybe we don't pay enough attention to. And being able to look at the impact of those tiny decisions that we make about where we sit. Do we accept a cup of tea? Do we use their bathroom? Do we, etc. All of these like small little things that actually have a very large impact in a complex way that we're going to go into. But I wanted to kind of flag the fact that there are these different elements and to start to think about them before we go into it more.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just talk about the title of your presentation, Seeing the Big Picture, Finding Clues in Our Breastfeeding Clients' Surroundings. And I know that when you and I first started talking about this, we had a lot of aha moments of the impact that potentially it can have in all the things that we do. And then we started talking about different countries. You and I, of course, live in completely different countries. So we've got culture to consider, and this is where we started thinking, we're going to need people to help us out on this too. So this is where we're sort of relying on the audience to bring, all the things that happens to them or what they have seen and done past, present, and potentially what we're looking at in the future. Right, Johanna?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, one of the things is that I know that our audience is from all over the place. So I think that that's really massively beneficial for this kind of conversation, to be able to see what kinds of things people are dealing with all over and how some of them are similar, but many of them will be different as well.
Yeah. And I thought it was very interesting because when I started reading some of your, abstract content and, presentation, which, you've been working on, I started thinking, oh my gosh, am I getting it wrong? I mean, it's so interesting. I'm laced with perfectionism, as a professional. I want to get it right. I want to serve my families well. I'm sure that a lot of people who are listening in are like that too. We come from that type of background, where we want to serve our families well. So I'm actually really excited to sort of, sit back, and, hear what folks have to say, but also, just sort of play it out and learn and understand, there isn't a right or wrong way necessarily, but the impact that it could have and what I need to do about that. What is my responsibility here and what do I need to be observant of and all those types of things. So I think that's going to be very exciting for me to hear what you have to say about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that like where I've got a few polls in there, for example, and the thing for me is that like these are not kind of an exam question where there is a right answer, but I will tell you what I do and I will give you my reasoning, but I recognize that I have got my own cultural context for why that is, and that we will have a conversation about why everybody's answer is potentially going to be different in those situations.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this clinical talk really is going to lean into, I think, a lot of critical thinking, biases, potential, all the things that we are, daily wrapped up in as we serve so many different clients. And those of us who live in, cities and, urban towns and such, it's important because we are meeting families from right across the world. That's the reality, right? Wherever we are. And I think it's really going to be exciting to explore, some of those things and, potentially look at the surroundings. I just thought of a question for you. Because I know we had talked about this initially, because this isn't just for folks that go into a home setting per se. This is really any surrounding, right, that you're going to be noticing about a family.
Yeah, there are particular scenarios where I am talking about if you are going into someone's home, there are particular situations where that's more relevant. But there is a whole section, I'd say, like, yes, we've been talking all about the cultural aspect, but there is a whole section as well about mental health and about what kinds of things we can spot as well in a consultation to be able to give us clues about actually what's truly going on. We know that a lot of people have got a very good mask for these kinds of things.
Right.
And clearly that there are clues when we go into people's homes, but there are also obviously things in other contexts as well, even virtual, to be able to spot these things.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be good for a lot of people too, because of obviously we have a lot more families who are being served online virtually at this time, which is fabulous too. Our reach is getting wider, around the world. And I think that's absolutely fantastic. So important topic. I can't wait to hear what more you have to say about it. But for those listening in again, seeing the big picture, finding clues in our breastfeeding clients' surroundings. This is an interactive session. So you go to the website, you'll see it in your delegates dashboard, the left-hand panel, click on there, and then you'll be able to follow up with some of the pre-workup workshop questions. When you do those questions, it'll give everyone an opportunity, Johanna, particularly to sort of see what people are interested in, what they're looking at. And if you don't get a chance to do them before, know that they're there for you really to dive into at any time, just to check in with this topic. These types of interactive sessions are really just to expand knowledge and take it to a whole new level. So lots of opportunity here. And of course, Johanna, you'll be here live answering my Q&A questions afterwards as well with all of our participants who will be there, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, that's fabulous. That's fabulous. Well, thank you again for coming in today. It's so good to see you. You're going to be seeing, as I mentioned, Johanna's going to be here as part of our program here at goldlactation.com. You can head over to the website right now. If you haven't registered yet, goldlactation.com. Registration is open. It is ready to go. You don't want to miss out on it. And of course, if you're already there and on the website, check out all the different elements and how you can enhance your learning this year. Thank you again to you, Johanna, for being with us here today. And of course, to all of our viewers for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye for now, everyone.